Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this. Welcome to another session of PG Week. So during this session, we're going to be covering all of the postgraduate courses which you can study at the University of Suffolk. I'm going to talk about. Also going to talk a little bit about student life at the University of Suffolk as well. But this presentation is more of just a general introduction to the courses that we offer. It's not going to be exhaustive about any particular course because obviously we've got quite a long list. So if there are any courses which take your fancy, we do recommend that you go onto the website and you kind of seek out more information about them, or you contact our lecturers directly. And we also have specially made course videos specifically for PG Week, which will be available from this Friday. And those are a lot longer. They're from the course leaders talking about the specific courses. But this presentation itself will just be more of a general overview. But we're going to start by passing over to Laura from the Student Experience team, who's just going to talk a little bit about what the Student Experience team does and things that they can do for postgraduate students as well. All right, take it away, Laura.
Thank you, Solomon. Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's well, and we're now creeping into afternoon, so good afternoon. So my name is Laura Jeffries, and I am part of the Student Experience team here at the University of Suffolk. As you can see, that's a lovely picture of the four of us within our team. That was taken at Welcome Week in September, where we welcomed all new and returning students. So essentially our team we are a unique team in that we are a team of recent graduates, 3 of us from the University of Suffolk. And we have a lived knowledge and understanding of the student experience, which does put us in quite a unique position. Essentially, we work with students to collect and collate student feedback. We ensure it's voiced and heard, and we ensure that students know any outcome or actions. So whether that be us speaking on students' behalf with course teams, with our associate deans within our schools, sometimes with heads of subjects, and we basically support students in making sure that their voice is heard and they know what mechanisms they can use to provide feedback to just make those positive changes that need to be made, or for students to kind of discuss anything they feel is working on the course and they'd like it to be shared with the course team. We also work really closely with lots of different teams across the university, whether it be with facilities or the library team or the careers team. So again, we can give feedback on students' behalf. So, like we said, we champion students' voices and experience, and we advocate for them when they are not present, so whether that be attending our twice-a-year student voice forums with course representatives from different cohorts as well. So, like I said, we are there to support any kind of student voice, basically. We're also really well positioned to signpost to other services on campus should students be unsure as to where they need to go for additional support or information. So like I said, there is 4 of us within the team, and we are in a unique position of being aligned to each of the schools. So I'm aligned to social science and humanities. So that would cover with postgrad, the MA in criminology, international relations, criminal law and justice, all of those kind of courses. And then we have Sam, Lily and Emily, who each are aligned to nursing, midwifery, public health, technology, business and arts, and allied health and sciences. So while we're not in the school, we are aligned. So that kind of gives us that, we kind of bridge the gap, as it were. So this is our mission statement. So we aim to deliver effective and measurable initiatives which have a meaningful impact on student success. We drive forward change and enhancements at the university to which are inspired and informed by the student voice, without students telling us what they want and what they feel is working or where improvements need to be made. We can't do anything. So the students are really essential and forefront of any changes that are informed. We have a very strong on-campus presence. That we are based in the library building at the university. We're constantly doing drop-ins to lectures. We are at pop-ups across the university. We are always here. And when we are not on campus, we are available online. So there is always someone to speak to. And we also, through student feedback, we develop inclusive campaigns that embed a really strong sense of belonging. So I can talk a little bit further along the slides about some of the things we've been doing. So each of us has a passion project. And for postgraduate students, my colleague Lily has been facilitating Postgraduate Cafe. So we started that in September, and it has been a really great way of postgraduate students getting to network across the courses and not just within their cohorts. So you can appreciate there's some part-time students who not always get a chance to speak with other students. It's been a great way for them to talk about where they want their university journey to go, if they need to know any extra information. Sometimes it's just an excuse to have a hot drink and a biscuit. We have the Student Experience podcast as well, which is available to all university members of staff, students and members of the public. You can access that through YouTube, and there are lots of different episodes with members of course teams, members of people like the careers team and our disability and wellbeing services. We've got episodes recorded, and our students. It's a really amazing community podcast. It's a great way of hearing others' experiences, how they came to the university, why they chose to be here as well. I'm really keen to facilitate students who identify as neurodiverse. So I'm in a working group to potentially open a sensory space on campus, so a quiet space. That is something I'm working on at the moment. We also quite often collaborate with other teams for advice and guidance sessions, whether that be with our student finance team, our extenuating circumstances team. We work closely with the student union as well. So as you can see, we've got quite a lot of things going on, which are all informed by student voice. So like I said, we try and champion different ways of giving feedback. So you can either email your school aligned student experience officer, you can come on our podcast. We are currently, all of our level 6, our final year students who are eligible are currently being encouraged to complete the National Student Survey. And coming up at the end of March, our current postgraduate taught experience students and research students are going to be encouraged to complete the postgrad survey. Again, all of the information and data from that goes towards improving the experience. We have the Suffolk Online Feedback in Action, which is essentially a Microsoft form where students can share their feedback anonymously or non-anonymously, and one of the student experience officers will pick it up and ensure it goes to the right place, ensure it's heard. We mentioned briefly that the SU facilitate course reps, and we work with the course reps with regards to student voice forums. And again, we can literally signpost you to where everything is, where you can give your voice. These are other ways of getting involved with us. You can follow us at UOS_student experience on Instagram, where you can find out just some of the things we've been up to. My colleague Emily frequently uploads clips from our student experience, so you can decide which episodes you'd like to listen to. We share information on there. We share some very silly videos sometimes, which essentially are just, a really fun way of sharing with students some of the things that we do. Emily's looking for students interested in completing a student blog, which will be going out on the main UOS website. So if any of you would like to be involved with that, her email address is just there. And we also have the student experience area on Brightspace, our online learning environment, which again is another great way of connecting with us. Does anybody have any questions?
Doesn't look like we've had any questions in the chat, so I think we can I'll let you go, Laura. So thank you for that. Thank you for introducing the student experience team. Obviously, they're going to be kind of very active, kind of helping towards different events like throughout your student experience if you were to go as a student here. So all right, thanks, Laura. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of the postgraduate courses that we do at the University of Suffolk. So to begin with, I'm just going to talk about kind of student life generally, and then we'll kind of get into a bit more detail about the kind of courses which we do have on offer. So what can you study? This is the list of courses that you can study. I will go through this in kind of more detail as we go throughout the presentation. But as you can see, it's quite a long list of postgraduate qualifications which we offer at the university. And obviously this also doesn't include PhDs, which you can also study in kind of any sort of research area, which we have lecturers which are relevant to. So why might you want to choose the University of Suffolk? So partially like our location. So we are located in Ipswich, which is about an hour on the train away from London. The actual campus itself is about a 10-minute walk away, or 10 to 15-minute walk from the train station. Again, 10 to 15-minute walk from the town centre. All of the things that you need while on campus are on our campus itself. So all of the lecture buildings within a short walking distance of each other. Aside from our computing campus, which is separate, but I'll get onto that when we talk about the computing courses. But yeah, also access to really, really beautiful countryside throughout Suffolk. So this is our waterfront building, which is our main kind of central campus building. So that's full of kind of different lecture theatres for numerous different subjects. That's also where our open days take place. So if you were to visit the campus, this would be the first building which you came to. But yeah, Suffolk in itself is a really, really beautiful place. So we've got lots of really stunning beaches and kind of countryside areas, as well as kind of more populated towns as well. So I feel like you get that nice kind of in between the atmosphere where you can be in like an urban town, but also not be far from nature, essentially. So here are some statistics about the University of Suffolk. So as you can see, we're the joint highest climber in the Complete University Guide 2025. I'm not going to read through all of these, but obviously you're welcome to pause and have a look through if you want. 92% of our graduates are in employment or further study 15 months after graduating. So we do have quite a clear focus on career prospects for people who do attend our courses. We want to make sure that you know what you're doing after you finish, that you're not just, that you don't just get your qualification and then that's it. Like we try and give support to all of our students while they're here, and then also afterwards when they're as alumni too. We are ranked in the top of all universities in the UK for the quality of employment gained after graduation. So that's a similar kind of statistic to do with employability. We pride ourselves in making sure that you're a name, not a number. When I talk to some students who have been to other like large universities, for example, they may be like one in a cohort of like a couple hundred people, and in those sorts of cohorts, it may be difficult to actually get that personalized, kind of individualized lecturing experience. So we do pride ourselves on having more of a personable approach to the way that our lecturers teach and the way that our lecturers communicate with our students. So you have amazing access to facilities. If you did, if you did a health course, for example, or a science course, because we have those smaller class sizes, usually probably like around 20 to 30 on like the higher sort of side. You get amazing access to all these facilities straight away from your first year. You don't really have to wait to do that, to do all that. You can just get straight stuck in. And then high quality contact time with the lecturers. So I did a English undergraduate degree, and then I did a postgraduate master's degree in creative and critical writing. And my lecturers really got to know my writing style. They got to know me as a person. They got to know the kind of things that I was interested in researching, and that really, really kind of helped my experience as a student here as well. So as I mentioned briefly before, so we've got student support. Obviously, we've got library and learning services, so they can obviously help with any kind of academic papers which you need access to. They can also help with kind of general like academic writing skills. We have disability, mental health, and wellbeing support. So that's a really, really, really good quality support there for kind of whatever's going on in your life. So you may, if for whatever reason you need kind of counselling or you need advice around certain things, or you want to know whether you're entitled to certain bursaries or financial support, you can talk to our student life team. You can talk to our students' union. There's lots of different ways that you can seek support should you need it. We also have a multi-faith chaplaincy team, so you don't have to have religion, but if you do have religion, you can also go there too. And they're just very, very open and welcoming to kind of all forms of worship and all forms of religion or lack thereof. And we have student life mentors as well. So they're mentors from the student life team who can help you throughout aspects of your academic journey. We also have personal academic coaches, which is usually a member of the kind of course team who can take you through all of these different aspects too. We use a block and blend learning style. So we're one of the first universities to do this for our undergraduate degrees, and we also do it for our postgraduate degrees. So the way that block and blend works is that you do either, usually it's the fact that you do one block for a certain amount of weeks, and then you're immediately tested on it before you move on to the next one. So this is very different to semesterized teaching, where you're often learning multiple different subjects at once, and then it's not until kind of towards the end of the term that you're actually tested on them. And what this means is that sometimes you'll be tested on things which you learned like months ago, like it could have been months before that you do it. Whereas we find that if you cement the knowledge by actually testing it practically as soon as you've learned it, you're more likely to retain that information. So block and blend has ended up with kind of like better exam results, better course results. So this is the kind of structure which we're pioneering. If it's not one module at a time, it will be at maximum 2 modules, and those 2 modules will complement each other. So I know that some of our science courses, when you're talking about 2 particular concepts which are kind of are very, very closely interlinked, then you will do 2 blocks at a time, and then you'll test on them at the end. And then that's still a short duration of time, so you're kind of tested immediately afterwards, essentially. But yeah, we found this structure to be really, really beneficial, and it's definitely been like a good selling point to people when we have spoken about this way of structuring our courses. Also, when it comes to jobs and careers, we have a dedicated careers and employability team, which are available to you for every year of your study. Also, obviously, every year as a postgraduate student. Also, once you graduate, they're also still there, able to kind of offer you support. There's a live jobs board, which is inside the careers team. You can pop in there whenever and just have drop-ins if you want. They have these soundproof pods, so you can have private conversations with our careers team about things that you want to do, or about jobs you're applying for, anything like this. And they're there to help you with kind of all of the careers related aspects of your academic journey. But also members of your course team will help with this too. Especially if you're doing like a postgraduate degree with the NHS, obviously the course team will help you to find the relevant placements and to find the relevant practical experience which you need. Same with our computing courses. It's very like we're very much like we're going to be supporting you through all aspects of your academic journey. As I said before, with the facilities, so we've got a state-of-the-art health and wellbeing building, which is a kind of like it's been newly renovated. So we've got 2 simulation hospital wards. We've got a pediatric suite. We've got paramedic science kind of virtual reality kind of simulation suites. We've also got a midwifery suite. We've got physiotherapy stuff. We've got sports and exercise science labs. It's a really cool place to be. And if it's specifically if you're doing a health course, obviously having access to those kind of realistic kind of simulation equipment makes it very handy for when you do go and kind of work hospitals too. And not just in the health and wellbeing building, we also have state-of-the-art kind of science labs in our James Eyre building. We also have state-of-the-art arts labs too. Whilst we don't have any particular physical postgraduate arts courses, obviously the arts building is still be available to you as a student of the University of Suffolk if you did want to use that. So we kind of have lots of practical things which you can use while you're a student here. And yeah, as I said before, the health and wellbeing building. Here are some pictures from the health and wellbeing building. We have a human performance laboratory. We have clinical treatment areas. This is just for all aspects of kind of NHS related courses, as well as our sport and exercise science and sports performance analysis courses. We have a fully functioning X-ray suite as well. So you're working with actual real radiation, so you can actually take use the actual imaging equipment in your lectures. That's used by our radiotherapy students. We've recently opened up we've recently opened up a dental course, so that's one of our newest courses. We also have a actual practicing dentist, which is within our James Eyre building as well. So we're taking on actual patients, as well as like having the actual teaching services for our dental hygiene and therapy course too. And then when it comes to life on campus, we've got brand new football pitches. We've got a on-site gym, which is £5 per month if you're a student here, which is that's a bargain. You wouldn't find a gym for £5 a month anywhere else, I don't think. We have our SU social space. We have SU societies. There's countless societies within the SU, but if you wanted to make one yourself, you could also do that too. There's also competitive and social sport, which is also available to all of our students. You can always pop in and speak to our SU about exactly what is on offer to you too. And student living, we have lots of different student accommodations. So we have Athena Hall. This is the one that's mainly kind of used by our kind of undergraduate students, but you could still use it as a postgraduate student. But we also have more, we have like quieter student accommodations. We have Ormond House, which is located near Christchurch Park, which is a short, for about 15 to 20 minute walk from the campus, or about 5 minutes if you drive. But this is a 16 bedroom property. So this is kind of so this is more of a kind of low-key experience if you wanted to live in like a 16-bedroom property over in Christchurch Park. So it's got communal kitchens, it's got communal dining rooms and lounge areas. A lot of the rooms have their own en-suites and bathrooms, some of them don't. But yeah, this is another option. We also have other shared student houses throughout Ipswich, which you can also use. But yeah, these are like probably the main accommodation options to you. It's most suited to students wanting a quieter environment to live and study in. So many postgraduate students do choose to use this accommodation. So now we'll get onto the actual courses themselves. I'm going to give like a brief introduction to each one. I'll talk a little bit about the general areas themselves. But we have had our members of our course team record much longer videos summarizing each course in detail. So some of those, they're between 5 and 20 minutes long. So if any of the courses which I mentioned today do take your fancy and you want to actually look into more detail, if you go to our website tomorrow, we will have videos from all the lecturers kind of talking about these courses in detail. And of course, you're welcome to kind of book meetings with our lecturers as well to discuss them as well. And we also have an in-person postgraduate event in April, which you're welcome to come along to as well. So within our nursing and so we have nursing and public health courses. We have our MSc in advanced clinical practice. So this is for people who are already experienced within healthcare. It's designed to facilitate the development of knowledge and skills related to advanced clinical practice. So this is if you're already working in health. And we also have adult nursing pre-registration. So this is an accelerated course, so it's a much shorter course than usual, and it's for existing graduates, basically to register as registered nurses. We also have the MA PGD/PGC Professional Practice and Integrated Care, which is a customized postgraduate degree to support the development of inspirational leaders within integrated care systems. So taking more of a leadership approach. We also have our MSc in Public Health Nursing. So this enables health visitors and school nurses with postgraduate qualification in specialist community public health nursing to achieve a full master's degree. So if you wanted to take your learning to the next step, essentially. And then within radiography, radiotherapy, which I was talking about before, we have our diagnostic radiography. So this is an accelerated 2 years full-time master's degree program. And that's aimed at current graduates to kind of help you provide practical experience, to provide safe and high quality care to patients requiring imaging. So if you're a graduate from our diagnostic radiography course, this would be the next logical step if you wanted to keep up your training. And then we have the MSc, that's PGD Professional Practice Advanced Radiography Practice. So this is if you want to expand the kind of things that you can do within radiography, and to kind of take it to the next level and be like more advanced, to be able to kind of do more kind of operating type things as well. And there's a variety of other single module programs to fit alongside clinical practice. So these will often be kind of taught within the hospital which you're working in already. And you can see the prices of these on our website as well. They're usually around £1,000 per module. So that's if you didn't want to do like a full course, but you can still do extra training within our health courses. And then we have our computing courses. So as you can see in the picture in the middle, this is from our Digitech Center. This is in our cybersecurity suite. So we have our MSc Computer Science. So this is for those who have already got some knowledge within computing and within technology. That's to kind of take their knowledge further into kind of more detailed computing. Then we have Applied Cybersecurity, which is a conversion degree. So we have 2 conversion degrees here. The next 2 are both conversion degrees. So that means that you do not necessarily have to have done anything to do with cybersecurity or data science or even computing to do a conversion degree. Obviously, having done those in the past would be helpful. But the whole point of a conversion degree is that it's a new thing for you. You're converting to a new subject. So obviously within cybersecurity, we provide with the tools and knowledge needed for a successful career in the cybersecurity field. They cover a range of topics, and always make sure that they're kind of relevant to the way that to the kind of cybersecurity field now. We always try and make sure that we're kind of breaking the mold and kind of taking in things which are relevant to today. It consists entirely of cybersecurity modules. So one of only a few kind of courses that do consist entirely of cybersecurity. So if you were sure you wanted to specialize in that, then obviously that's a good idea of what to do. It's the same with data science and artificial intelligence. That's another conversion master's degree. So you don't have to have done it in the past. And again, that's to go into a career working within data science and artificial intelligence, and that is accredited by Amazon Web Services. And then within social sciences, we have our applications of psychology. So this is for those who have already studied psychology who want to take their knowledge further. We have cognitive behavioral therapy and counselling. So it would be helpful if you we have a psychology and counselling undergraduate degree. This would be the ideal kind of next step for those. But if you knew the kind of clinical practice you wanted to go into. We also have our MA in criminology. So obviously that's addressing contemporary issues within the study of crime, community safety, and criminal justice. And obviously, again, we try and make sure we're always keeping all of these arguments relevant and the kind of pushing the boundaries of what you're able to do within criminology. We have our MA education studies, which we have a very, very exhaustive video about. We have a half an hour long video discussing this MA education studies, which also includes pathways in childhood as well. So our childhood and our education courses are being accredited as one now. So you kind of pick modules within those. And then we have a PGC in social work practice education. So for those who would like to become high quality social work practice educators. So you want to educate other people about social work, and you'll become accredited stage 2 social work practice educators in line with the PEPS. And then we have our MSc in psychology, which is another conversion course. So if you wanted to get into psychology, but you didn't do it at undergraduate level, then this is an opportunity to go into that. And it is accredited by the BPS, which is essentially what you need to actually go to move on within psychology in your career. there are some psychology undergraduate degrees which aren't accredited by the BPS. So this MSc would enable those people to also be accredited because it's a mandatory requirement. So I'm unsure why some universities don't offer that accreditation, but obviously we do here at the University of Suffolk. And then we have two humanities courses which you can do. So you have our MA in Creative and Critical Writing. This is the course that I did. I invite you to focus on your passion for creative writing whilst engaging with the most up-to-date debates. So the whole idea behind this course is that it's creative writing always tends to be critical, and critical writing always tends to be creative, and it's how you can blend these forms to kind of create exciting work and to experiment with the form essentially. And the same with MA History. So both of these courses are usually taught within the Hold, which is a partnership between Suffolk County Council and the University of Suffolk. And it contains over 900 years of historical documents. So anything that's happened within Suffolk over the past 900 years or so, birth certificates, death certificates, like old marriage certificates, old maps, old newspapers, all of these things are contained within the Hold. And our students have access to them. So obviously our history students will use it quite a lot. And within our history MA, we encourage our students to pursue their own research interests, and then our history lectures will be there to kind of help support with people's own research interests, essentially. And then we have a huge number of teaching qualifications. So we have teacher training in Great Yarmouth, it's Suffolk New College, Colchester and Billericay, then Suffolk and Norfolk Primary, and Suffolk and Norfolk Secondary. So we've got a huge number of teaching qualifications which you can do. We also have our childhood primary education with QTS undergraduate degree, which you could also do. But yeah, if you did want to do teacher training, we have lots of different options and lots of locations from where you can do teacher training. So that's essentially the end of my introduction to the PG courses that we do have on offer here. If there are any PG courses which you wanted to find out more details on, if you go to our website, type in the name of the course, they will have all of the entry requirements, all of the module information. Also, if you go to the PG Week page, then we also have course introductions by the lecturers themselves, and they will all be live by this Friday as well. So we have a PG open evening on the 30th of April between 4 till 7. So there we'll have all of the course leaders, or a member of the course team, as well as support services, and they'll be on hand for people to come and have a chat about the courses, or if you have any questions about anything whatsoever, or maybe you're considering postgraduate study, but you need to know a bit more. You need to you want to actually, like, if you're seriously considering it, it's probably worth coming to the open evening just to have a chat with people, just to see if it's for you. But aside from that, that's the end of my presentation. So thank you very much for listening. I'm just seeing if I've got any questions. So we've got Daniel Lee. I'm doing an MBA with your partner school at Malta. So away at your class visits to the University of Suffolk campus. Just studying since being certified by you. So I'll show that. Okay. I think what I'll do, Daniela, is I'll get the email address for our partnership students. So if you go to partnerships at uos.ac.uk. So Daniela, if you email this email address, partnerships@uos.ac.uk, and say that you'd like to organise a visit, the partnerships team should be able to help facilitate this. I'm just going to double check that we don't have any questions anywhere else. No, I don't think we do at the moment. So thank you everyone for listening. Up next at 3 o'clock, we've got a live panel with with some postgraduate students. Again, we had the international panel yesterday. Now we have a postgraduate student panel, usually kind of focused around kind of home students as well. So that will be between 3 and 4 today. So hopefully see you there. Right, thank you.